Letter B, chat. This one right here is a classic anime. It's I got for those of you who are looking for something to binge watch, right, chat? With plenty of episodes. Sadly, it's not in dub, but there are about 50 episodes of this, right? It's it caters around this boy who was mailed because apparently he lost his mother. His mother isn't dead as far as I know, and I remember watching only I think I only watched the first season of this, and it was so long ago, chat, that I'm probably going to rewatch it. It's got that. It's so long ago that I started rewatching it again, and I don't remember any of it. In fact, I'm not even sure if I even like gotten very far in this. Yeah, like it's I'm maybe I don't know. I honestly don't know, and to the point where I'm kind of mixing it up with uh Black Butler a little bit. I don't know why. You ever have watching the anime, chat, where they things kind of like blur together because you've seen two different styles? I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's about this kid who lost his mother, got taken away from his mother, and he got sent to his some woman he calls aunt or whatever like that. I don't think they're blood related, but he calls her aunt. And he ends up growing up because around he lost his mother around 7, but around like 12 or so, he wants to be this pretty much a mailman, right? And not any kind of mailman. This is a post-apocalyptic kind of world, it seems, because there's like no grass anywhere like in this world. There's like 3 cities: the wealthy ones where they have an artificial sun, the not so wealthy ones who are not poor but they're not rich either, and then there's the third city where that's where all the poor people go. They don't get any of that sunlight because all the sunlight is being over in the world city 3 and everything. And between those cities are huge roads, or would it be? Maybe. A lot of times there's no roads, but between those cities there's like a bunch of monsters, right? That's why these like souped up mailmen who have the power to like fight the monsters are the ones traveling back and forth like, for like letters, because apparently they don't have cell phones. They come out with cell phones, chat, then the whole thing just goes under. No one needs to be doing that anymore. Or if they come out with better guns. Anyway, what also makes this interesting is that the second main character is this girl, right? But she's not human. She's like some kind of beast in a little girl's body or something like that. Or she's a beast and a little girl at the same time. And she is pretty much his familiar. Ends up being his familiar and does a lot of the fighting. Normally a lot of these mailmen, they end up with like these dogs or some type of like a beast, some type of like a beast to be their bodyguard, to help them travel from one area to the next, to help them fight these crazy monsters and everything. But he ends up with this girl. Now, last I remember, she was supposedly supposed to be sent to a circus because, you know, there's not really many like her. So she was supposed to be sent to a circus. But something happens where she ends up being this boy's familiar, pretty much. So they travel together, delivering delivering mail and like learning about other people's like many lives. Really, is that kind of story, chat? Is that kind of anime where you get to see more of the world and how it's affecting everybody's life, kinda. Yeah, but so there's a little bit of that, but there's also uh uh them fighting other, I think, mailmen sometimes. Because I've recalled that happening for whatever reason. But they're definitely like fighting monsters. It's a very fleshed out anime, chat. It is. It very much is. You don't get that. Like, so if you like something like Solo Leveling, and like you probably won't like this, right? The action scene, there's a lot of action scenes in this. A lot of it, right? But in terms of story, there's a lot more what's going on in the world with this than you would find with a lot of other anime. And it's a classic one too. So you get that classic art style and you get that classic vibe. And from what I know what I'll say. I feel like anime a long time ago had a little bit more passion than they do today, if that makes any sense. maybe not even passion, maybe emotion. Really, that might be the case. They had a little bit more time to put into making a very well in depth and very long story. Nowadays, it's more of like, all right, we need at least 12 episodes. But back in the day, like, can we get 24? Can we get 24 episodes? I think that's where that comes from, chat. As anime goes on over the years, they might seem to be doing more. You know what? You know that one anime you probably seen it where the main character he's isekai'd, but I haven't seen it. I've only seen a cover art for it. And after he finishes, I think episode one, after he finishes his whatever, he gets sent back to his world. That's the premise of the anime. He gets sent back to his world, but the elf, the dark skinned elf girl who was on his team, who's obsessed with him, somehow managed to go there as well. Use her magic to go there as well to be with him. That anime, the reason why I bring it up is that anime, each episode is 12 minutes long. 12 minutes, chat. Think about that for a second. I when I saw that, so I clicked on it to watch it. Now, what makes that anime so weird is that it's got fan service, like a lot of it. There's even an uncensored version of it. I drew the line when it said 12 minutes, right? I thought I was going to be in for like a comedy or something like that, chat. But no, it's 12 minutes episode. I don't care how funny it is. I'm not doing a 12-minute anime. However, I recently watched. I've been following Black Butler, that anime, and what I've learned or noticed about the last few episodes is that they are stretching out these episodes with longer flashbacks, and then they have the trailer, right? But they try to make it not seem that way by putting a little bit of like of the flashback at the beginning, and then a little bit of the anime, and then the not trailer, I mean opener, a little bit of the opener after a little bit of the anime. So you have the opener around the, I don't know, 10-minute mark, and they're doing it's so weird. It's a very weird situation. So when you have, as we get further and further in the years of anime being around, it seems like anime is going away from the whole 24 episodes or 24 episodes or even longer, a bunch of different seasons, all the way down to let's take this huge, very in-depth book or these mangas and compress them down into as few episodes as possible to save money. And when they do that, chat, I believe we end up with a situation of very subpar anime. Yeah. If I had to rank this anime, that's a classic with 50 different episodes in a special season, because I think they came up with a special as well, I would have to rank this well above Solo Leveling. And I think it's not even Solo Leveling's fault. It's more of it was created in a time where anime, they had more time. Now it seems like, hey, we can't wait. We got to get something out, or we got to cut as many corners as possible. Then you get some quantity over quality. That's what you get with now a lot of these anime nowadays. Solo Leveling is good, and and I think this anime would sit up there with Frieren in terms of how in depth and well written it is. This is a very well written anime. There's a lot of a world building going on. I think that's what that is, chat. A lot of anime is missing world building. They spend less time, they spend less time building a proper universe that you care about. I don't care about what is going on in Solo Leveling whatsoever. Not because I'm heartless, but because there's not really much for me to care about. There's not. Like, it's maybe it's because it's modern day. Maybe that is. I do care a little bit about that one girl he met in the dungeon. I do care about that. I do care about her and her universe, but that's not. Maybe it's fantasy worlds are more my cup of tea. That might be the case, chat. That might be the case, but it does leave you wondering where the the you and I think with a lot of this new technology that's coming out, that may change. It'll make anime much easier. I think I talked to King Remedy about this too. Is that with this new technology that's coming out, like every year or every other second nowadays, anime will get longer, more episodes, right? Unless they just put all the time and effort into flashy fight scenes. If they do that, then they're just it counterbalancing itself for the wrong reasons, like in the wrong way. That hey guys, we got this larger budget. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Should we put it into fleshing out the characters and more episodes for writing and world building? Like, no. Just throw it into flashy fight scenes. What? Yeah, add more particles to this fight scene. Like, why? Because the Americans like flashing colors. They like keys being jingled in front of their eyes. That why should we care, chat? Why should we care? So I really do hope that like anime progresses in a better situation. King Remedy says we have more money. Instead of better animation, we make the boobs even bigger. That's wild. That's wild. How much money does it cost to make stuff like that bigger? That probably nothing. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And I wonder what the future of anime holds, chat. I wonder. With all this Texas laws being passed and all this and all that, who's going to be the safe haven if Japan isn't anymore, right? Something to think about. It's something to think about. Anyway, chat, on with the rest of the show.